Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and I took off from a different spot, and I'll be landing in that different spot. I don't know why I didn't think about using it before, but I didn't. Now, the other night, we heard a bunch of cattle mooing like they were hungry, so I thought, well, maybe they've moved some cattle back over to this block of area here where they moved out, probably a couple hundred head of cattle last fall and took them somewhere. Don't know where they went, but maybe they took them to the butcher shop. I don't know. So I'm taking the flight over here to check and see if there are any cattle. And it looks to me like we were hearing some from some other direction, but there were sure a lot of them hungry or something, because it sounded like the same thing as when these guys get over to the fence near our house. So anyway, then I decided, okay, since I got a good battery in my drone, in my Air 2S, I'm going to fly over to check out the construction like I did in the last video. And by the way, in the last video, I was pointing out that I had a bad battery, and what I ended up finding out was the third cell of that particular battery was very inconsistent from the time I got it. So I contacted DJI via email, and it wasn't too long. I mean, it was less than 24 hours. I got an email back, and the battery was still under warranty because I got it last December, and so I don't know how long. It must be a 1 year. So anyway, all the guy wanted to know was my address so they could ship me something, and I'm assuming that they're going to send me a new battery, but I don't know, so we'll see. But that's what he needed. He said he'd be willing to help and try to do what he could to make me happy, or something like that. So anyway, we're coming over here, and in the last video, the area on the right is what we were looking at. There was earth movers leveling out that area, and there's a lone earth mover down here. Looks like he's doing some smoothing out. Looks like somebody drove crosswise there, and he's going to scoop up some dirt and fix that where they left dirt piled up along the side. At least that's what it looks like to me. Now, I got to tell you, I'm running out of stories which I think everybody would be interested in listening to, at least what I think they would be. And so I decided, okay, if you like to hear me tell stories, I got a lot of stories, but they're not all about flying or motorcycles or things like that. So I'm just going to go back in history and pick up on some of the things that have happened to me from the time I was a very small child to, we'll just see if we can catch up to somewhere along the line. So let me know if you don't want to hear my life story, because I'll be happy to just point out what we're looking at or something. So anyway, we'll go back. I was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and during the war in 1942, and the first memory I have of that little place, and by the way, the address is 1946 Cheyenne Place, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and you can find it on, last time I checked, you could find it on Google Earth. So now these guys are doing the same thing we looked at yesterday, and there's that tractor with the scraper that's got the little white deals sticking up on the top, which are GPS units. They make sure they get everything nice and level. And this guy in front of us here, he's just dumping his load. And so then they'll be picking up some more. Looks like they're picking them up further out there and then coming back and bringing them over here. So anyway, my earliest memory is Kate Smith was on the radio, and she was singing, "Jesus wants me for a sunbeam to shine for him each day." And my mom, we were in the kitchen, and she was holding me in her arms and dancing around the kitchen table, singing along with Kate Smith. That's the earliest memory I have. And I was small enough that my mom was carrying me. So anyway, if you haven't heard of Kate Smith, she was a very patriotic American who sang beautiful songs and with a beautiful voice. So everybody wanted to hear Kate Smith back then. So that was my first memory. And then the second memory I have is when I was, I don't know, I don't remember the age, but I probably couldn't have been too far along. But my Aunt Chloe, who lived with us a lot of times in my life, she was helping make the bed in my folks' bedroom. And I was kind of watching, and so, here's where I get disoriented, okay? And so I'm trying to find out which way to go to get home. So anyway, somebody had left a cut of gum on the bedpost, and so I went over and I looked at that, and she said, "Don't touch that. That's got germs on it." Well, that was the time in my life when we were fighting the Germans, and I didn't understand exactly. But I'd seen some videos in the movies, some films in the movies with my folks of the things going on in the war, and they were jumping in and out of trenches and crawling along in those videos, or I should say films. And so when I looked at that gum and I could see those little cracks in the cud, and I thought, there's Germans in there. You sure you want to hear these? So anyway, the next memory I have before we moved away, well, actually I have another one too, but anyway, so my 4th birthday was coming up, and my mom was going to throw a birthday party for me and have friends in the neighborhood and stuff. We had some triplets that lived next door, and so they would come over for my birthday party. Back then, plastics were all just new. Everything that we have now wasn't even invented by then, the kinds of plastic and all. But she said, "Now I'm going to give one of these to every boy that comes to your party." And she showed me it was a plastic toy about the size of a Hot Wheels car, and it was all plastic. The wheels were plastic, the body was plastic, and the covering for the where the driver sits and stuff, that was clear plastic and just a little dome. And I remember thinking, it's my birthday. Why is she giving other people presents? And I asked her, and I said something like, "Isn't it my birthday?" And she said, "Yes, but you do that to be nice to people that come to your birthday." So anyway, here we are coming back. And I want to show you something because, so I'll come down and fly down and show it to you. My son, who is got a whole bunch of, some people would call it junk, but it's stuff that he can use to work on cars and rebuild things. And so recently, he purchased a container, a shipping container, and there it is right there. And he's cleaning all of his stuff out that he wants to keep, and then throwing away the junk. And so he had to have a place to put it in order to have room to do what he's going to do. And what he's going to do is he's going to move the stuff that is in his shop and in the little storeroom next to his shop into someplace else. And the little storeroom next to his shop, which we're going to come around to and take a look right there, that door right there in front of us, that's going to be, he's taken all that space and he's going to frame it in like he did that in the window to the left. He built that a year and, about 2 years ago. And so it's a little small, and so he's going to turn the little room next to it, which was just a kind of a lean-to room, and that's where he had all of his stuff stored. And so that's going to be, that's the next project that's coming down the line. So I'm coming in here, and like I said, I took off from this spot, and I don't know why I didn't think about taking off from it previously, but, sometimes, and then I'm getting old and forgetful on top of that. So anyway, I'm going to fly in here and try to land on this trailer, which I took off from the front of it there, from the little plastic box up in the front. So we're going to come in here and land, and while we're doing that, I want to tell you, let me know if you don't like my life stories. Anyway, tell you, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.